Good morning, everyone. We are Group 7 and we will be discussing about the gender analysis and the gender analysis tools. Our objectives is to define and explain gender analysis, discuss the types of gender analysis, illustrate different gender analysis framework and tools. So what is gender analysis? It refers to the process of gathering information to understand the relationship between men and women, their access and control of resources, their activities, and the constraints they face relative to each other. Moreover, it provides information that recognizes gender. So, ang gender analysis ay ang isang paraan upang maunawaan ang mga pagkakaiba sa pagitan ng kalalakihan at kababaihan when it comes to the roles and opportunities they have. So this will help us to see how men and women are affected differently by various issues or problems. Next is the types of gender analysis. Actually, there is two. The number one is the quantitative gender analysis. It's the collection and analysis of sex at disaggregated data. It shows us if there is a difference in a given situation for women and men, girls and boys, but it does not tell us why the difference exists between men and women. Sa quantitative gender analysis, pinapakita niya dito yung difference of women and men in a given situation, pero hindi niya pinapakita kung ano yung dahilan, kung ano yung problema. It is measures of quantity or example the number, total numbers, proportions, percentages, or etc. So basically, it shows us numbers and statistics. The second one is qualitative gender analysis. It's the tracing of historical, political, economic, social, and cultural forces in order to clarify how and why the differences between men and women have come about. It is based on people's judgments, perceptions, and opinions about the subject. So, qualitative gender analysis involves understanding why these differences exist. So, dito na pinapakita yung dahilan. Unlike sa quantitative gender analysis, pinapakita lang doon yung difference. Tinitingnan nito ang mga dahilan sa likod ng mga numero at statistics. So, sa pamamagitan nito, mas mauunawaan natin ang mga karanasan at opinyon ng mga tao. Next is the importance of gender analysis. The first one is to identify gender-specific constraints and opportunities. So, analysis helps us to understand the challenges or the problem faced by men and women and the opportunities they have. Next is to identify possible strategic measures to overcome the constraints. So, gender analysis helps us to find ways to overcome or to solve those challenges and make positive changes. Next is to recognize different impact of research activities to achieve positive change. So gender analysis helps us to see how different activities might affect men and women different. Next is to concern with the underlying causes of inequalities. So gender analysis will help us to understand why inequalities exist. Makikita natin kung ano yung dahilan ng inequalities. The last one is helps to apply understanding of causes of inequalities for policy development and service delivery. So gender analysis will help us or the policymakers to create the policies that are fair and effective for everyone. Next is gender analysis frameworks and tools. These are systematic processes and guides to collect, analyze, and apply gender disaggregated data to understand the differences, rules, and power dynamics between men and women in various contexts. So, why is it called systematic processes? It's because it follows step-by-step guides that help us to understand differences between men and women in different or in various contexts. In simple words, gender analysis frameworks and tools are like a roadmap that helps us to understand and address gender differences in a structured and organized way. Harvard Analytical Framework, a tool for collecting data at the household and community levels to understand how men and women participate in economic activities and manage resources. Dito ay ang framework na ito ay ginagamit upang mas maunawaan natin ang papel ng kababaihan at kalalakihan sa ekonomiya at kung paano nila pinamamahalaan ang mga resources sa loob ng kanilang mga tahanan at komunidad. So in Harvard Analytical Frameworks, there are tools that we use. First tools is activity profile, deals with the identification of the productive and reproductive activities of men and women. It examines also the percentage of time allocated for each activity, whether the activity is carried out seasonally or daily, and a specification of the place where the activity performed, which shows freedom and mobility. Dito, kinikilala natin ang mga gawain ng productive ng kababaihan at kalalakihan. Kung gaano nila karaming oras ang nilalaan sa gawain at kung saan nila ito ginagawa. Mahalaga ito upang malaman natin ang bawat kasarian kung may kalayaan ba silang gumawa, gumalaw at magdesisyon. Tool number 2, access and control profile. It indicates the gender-based access to resources, control over the use of resources, and the benefits of the use of resources. Access simply refers to the use of resources. Ang tools na ito ay tumutukoy kung paano na-access ng kababaihan at kalalakihan ang isang resources at kung sino ang may control sa paggamit nito. Dito makikita natin kung pantay ba ang oportunidad ng lahat. Tool number 3, influencing factors, enable the assessment of factors that determine different opportunities and constraints for women and men and shape gender relation. Dito ay inaalam natin ang mga bagay na nakakaapekto sa oportunidad at limitasyon sa kalalakihan at kababaihan. Includes general economic condition, institutional structures, demographic and socio-cultural factors, community norms, legal parameters, education and training, and political events. Tool 4, the project cycle analysis. Examine it from gender perspective using disaggregated data and charting the different effects of social change on women and men. Dito, sinusuri natin ang proyekto mula sa pananaw at kasarian, kung paano ito makakaapekto sa mga babae at lalaki. Gamit ang datos at kasarian. Sa pamamagitan ng Harvard Analytical Framework at ang mga tools na ito ay mauunawaan natin ang isyong kasarian sa komunidad at kung paano natin ito matutugunan. upang mas pantay ang lahat. So the Harvard Analytical Framework strength is practical and hands-on, collects and organize information about gender division of labor. It makes women's work visible. Next is distinguishes between access to and control over resources, useful for project to a micro level, can be easily adapted to a range of setting. The weaknesses is the limitation of framework is need another tool, focus on project not program, focus on efficiency not effectiveness, does not provide guidance on how to change gender inequalities, can be carried out in a non-participatory way, tends to oversimplify, ignores other inequality such as race, class, and ethnicity, ignores connection and cooperative relations.
Second, the Moser framework or gender planning. The Moser framework is based on three major concepts: women's triple roles, productive, reproductive, and community. Practical and strategic gender needs, categorized in with and what policy approaches. So in Moser framework, there are six tools. So tools number one, gender roles identification or triple roles. Reproductive work involves the care and maintenance of the household and member. So when we say reproductive work, ang mga kababaihan ay nara sa balay magtrabaho. Halimbawa, pagluluto o paglibre sa balay. Productive work. This involves the production of goods and services for consumption or trade. So when we say productive work, wala siya ang mga trabaho sa kababaihan na maka-earn sila og money. Halimbawa, pagpanahi or pagbaligya og mga foods. Community work. These activities include the collective organization of social events and services. So this community work means nga muna siya ang mga kababaihan na mag-participate sa meeting sa barangay. Tool number two, gender needs assessment. Practical gender needs. If need would assess women in their current activities, often required inadequacies in living condition. So when we say practical gender needs, ano siya, these are needs that immediately help in daily life. Strategic gender needs, if met, would enable women to transform existing balances of power between women and men. Women's strategic gender needs are those which exist because of women's subordinate social status. So strategic gender needs means these are needs that helps change gender roles and provide more equal opportunities. So tool number three is aggregating control of resources and decision making within a household. This tool is used to find out who has control over resources within the household. So, kinsa ang may control sa manis o sa kapamilya daw? Who makes decision about the use of this resource says they are made. So, dili naman daw kung kinsa ang mag-desisyon about sa mga resources. 5 different approaches can be identified. Welfare. So, welfare is providing assistance. Equity, providing equal opportunities o pantay-pantay nga oportunidad. Anti-poverty, helping the poor pagtabang sa mga kabus. Efficiency, making things more effective. So, empowerment, helping women become stronger and more independent. Number four, balancing of roles. This relates to how women manage the balance between their productive, reproductive, and community work. So this means how women manage their time between work, family, and community. Example, if a woman works but also take care of her children, she needs to balance her time. So number five, with what policy metrics. So when we say with women and development, what women and development. The WID policy matrix provides a framework for identifying, evaluating the approaches that have been or can be used to address the triple role and the practical and strategic of needs of women in programs and projects. So when we say WID policy matrix, so this is a tool to assess whether programs and projects are helping women in their Three roles under practical and strategic needs. Five different approaches can be identified. Welfare, it is a providing assistance or mao ni ang paghatag og hinabang or kaayuhan. Equity, providing equal opportunities o pagkapantay-pantay na oportunidad. Anti-poverty, helping the poor pagtabang sa mga boost. Efficiency, making things more effective. Empowerment, helping women become stronger and independent. Tool number 6, involving women, gender-aware organization and planning. The aim of this tool is to ensure the practical and strategic gender needs are identified by women, ensuring that real needs as opportunity perceived needs are incorporated into the planning.
So, student, the concept of practical and strategic gender needs is a very useful tool for evaluating the impact of development intervention of gender roles. So, strength is the idea of looking at practical and strategic genders need is helpful for seeing how developing projects can affect on gender roles. So we have limitations. So first is the frameworks look at the separate activities of women and men rather than how these activities interrelate. So the way all the things are set up, it's look what means and women do separately instead of how their actions connect. So second, not everyone accept the concept of triple role. So some people didn't agree or they don't agree with the idea of triple role because especially when it comes to the community responsibilities. Then third is other forms of inequality such as race and class are not addressed. So it doesn't deal with other types of unfairness like those based on race or social class. So Moser does not consider the strategic gender needs of men. So the gender doesn't think about um, the strategic gender needs of a man. So number three, which is the gender analysis matrix or GAM framework. So first is was developed for practitioner working at grassroots level and aims to assist in determining the different impact of development interventions on women and men rather. So the gender analysis matrix or GAM framework is a tools created for people who work directly in the communities. So it helped them to figure out how developing projects can affect both women and men rather. Sorry. So the second is the analysis conducted at core level of society, which is women, men, household, and community. So the gender analysis matrix or GAM, there are 4 point of view. It also check the impact in 4 main areas: work, time, resources, and sociocultural aspects. So next is before the implementation, it is used to identify the feasibility of the labor, time, and resources, and sociocultural. So therefore, before the starting of a project, GAM help them to see if it will work well by looking its effect on women, men, families, and the community, considering work, time, resources, and the sociocultural or cultural aspects. So number 4, which is women's equality and empowerment or Longwe framework. So first is Longwe defines women's empowerment as enable women to take an equal place with men and to participate equally in the development process in order to archive control over factor of production on an equal basis with men. So the long way framework is about helping women to have the same opportunities as men. Long Way framework defines women's empowerment as equal participation with men. So Long Way's framework is based on the idea of 5 different level of equity. So first, we have welfare, access, concretization, participation, and control. So tool 1, level of equity, we have welfare. This is defined as the level of women's material welfare, income, food supply, healthcare, and then relative to men. So when we say welfare, making sure women have enough money, like food, healthcare, just like men. So access, this is understood in a framework as women equality of access with men to the factors of production such as land, credit, labor, training, market facilities, and all public services and benefit. So when we say access, should have the same chance as men to use things like land, uh, loans, training, places to sell their goods, and public services. So third is concretization. This concept relates to being aware of the difference between sex and gender and to recognize that gender roles are cultural and can change. So concretization means understanding the difference between someone's sex and their gender. So the sexual division or labor should be fair to both women and men. Both should agree with it. So it involves knowing that gender roles are based on culture and can change over time. So neither women nor men should dominate the other economically and politically. So men or women should have more power than other, whether in the money matters or in the politics.
Women's equal participation in the decision-making process, policy making, planning, and implementation. Sa women's pag-abot sa decision making, kinahanglan gid siya nga kana apil ang mga women's sa mga plano sa atong mga kinabuhi kay tungod nga na naaman diya ang panagkasabot sa matag usa. It is particularly important aspect of development projects where participation means involvement and need assessment, project formulation, implementation, and evaluation. So kinahanglan gid siya nga babae ug lalaki kinahanglan sa decision making pagkahiusa gid mo. O sa control usab nag-ingon diri nga refers to women's control over the decision making process through concretion and mobilization production to achieve equality of control over the factors of production and distribution. So mao to siya nga sa matag usa nga mga decision making, so dapat ang babae feel good niini. Tool 2, level of recognition of women's issues. So 3 levels of recognition of women's issues and projects assigned. These are, so naa siya tulong type of level recognition pag-abot sa mga kababahian. Una, negative level, neutral level, positive level. Sa negative level, there is no references to women's issues in the project objectives. It is likely that project will have a negative impact on women. So, there's a negative level sa mga women's pag-abot sa mga issues, bali negative sila sa ilang mga ingon nga pagka babae. Ug sa neutral level, women's issues are included, but there is doubt as to whether the outcomes will be positive for women. So sa neutral level, ang mga women's sa mga issues included gihapon siya pero naay gingon nga doubt whether ang outcome niini positive para sa mga babae. Positive level, project objects are positively concerned with women's issues and improving women's position relative to men. Nga, sa positive level, kaingon ta nga ang mga lalaki lang ang makabuhat niini sa mga gusto nga buhaton. Nga naa sa ubang mga babae karon nga unsa ang buhatonon sa lalaki makaya usab sa mga babae. Sa strength, the framework can be used for planning, monitoring, and evaluation to translate a commitment to women's empowerment into policy and plans. So, sa strength, pag-abot sa mga framework, sa matag usa, mga planning, or sa panadiha, monitoring, evaluation, na kinahanglan gyud nga babae, appeal gyud niini. Sa pag-abot sa limitations, the framework is not complete as it does not take into account a number of aspects. It does not track how situation changes over time. The relationship between men and women is examined only from an equality perspective, failing to take account of the complex system of rights, claims, and responsibilities that exist between them. So, mga limitations nga naayusahay nga sa mga sitwasyon ba nga magbag-o change over time ang relasyon nga to sa lalaki ug sa babae nga i-examine nila ang ilang kalahian tali sa laki ug babae nga ang kasagaran gyud sa tuwa kaingon ta nga dili na kaya sa babae pero kaya di ay ito nila kabuhaton kung unsa ang gigiwad sa kitang mga lalaki.